We're rolling, baby. We're live.
Wow. I tapped the thing instantly.
That's all we hear.
It's really hard to elongate that sound. That made my head shake. Hey, listeners.
This is a weird thing to do when you have 0 people.
I know. It's like, hey, no one.
Oh, hey, loyal fans of us.
This is the Nothing is Anything podcast.
Probably get a little closer.
I could do that. Or I could just speak louder. Couldn't
Your little sound
Couldn't I
wave.
just speak louder?
Your little sound waves are like,
Whatever. I'm here now.
cool.
Hey, listeners. That don't exist. None of you.
None.
Humble
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, really. Welcome to Nothing is Anything. It's a podcast.
Where we talk about how nothing
Is
anything.
anything.
Pick a topic. Any topic. Talk about it enough. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It can be something complex. It could be trivial. Doesn't matter. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Quantum physics or a tree.
You know, I don't know enough about quantum physics to be able to talk about that, though. So,
But trees,
I could talk about trees for a minute.
little seed. What's a seed? It could just sit there forever, years and years.
Just the seed.
You put it in the ground. It goes, soaks up nutrients from dirt, and goes, I'm going to live now.
But only in the right dirt.
The correct dirt. Not no sandy loam.
No. What? What's a loam?
Sandy loam?
Yeah.
Okay. Exposing my farmer side. There are different types of dirt. Loam, sand, sandy loam. Water will drip through it a little bit faster. Where you have like clay, water will just sit right on top. So you got to get a plant that wants a lot of water. But you get sandy, it'll go right on through. Sandy loam is perfect for most things because it's like a combination of sand where the water will go all the way through it, and loam, which will like hold on to the water a little bit.
Loam. And what is the consistency of loam, though?
Dirt.
Okay. So it goes from fine sand to dirt, basically.
Basically.
And sandy loam is literally where sand is mixed with the dirt
Yes.
to make it a little bit, the water travels perfectly through it.
Yeah, that's like generic mud.
Okay, so in a place, though, where I feel like my swallow was so loud just now.
That's all good.
I feel like, though, if you mixed the sand with the loam. Okay, wait, hold on. What plants can grow in loam? Just loam.
Loam, I think it's been a while since I've known this, but I think it's things that need more water.
Like hot, yeah, where it can sit there and soak it for
Yeah.
a long time.
So
it's not
those
going to drown.
plants can sip like consistently, whereas like something that's more sandy, like things you would see.
A cactus.
A cactus doesn't need much water. It just goes right on through, just catches what it needs.
Barely, because there's
Barely.
I mean, in the desert, there's literally no rain,
And
hardly.
and
And
when
they
it
live
does
in
rain-
sand.
Yeah, they live in sand. Don't need much water.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, that was, wow. I like
And-
how that was our first discussion.
Hey, Zach and Ethan, how did your, what was it like the first thing you talked about on your podcast? Sand.
Sand.
We talk about sand.
It was really interesting.
Sand. Trees and loam
And sand.
and sand.
Mainly just sand. Not really the trees.
Okay, sand. What the crap is sand?
I mean, the fact that sand, obviously with science, it's like, oh yeah, sand was literally made from erosion of rocks and...
There's little fish that eat rocks and poop out sand.
Yeah.
Sand
They
is
speed up
fish
the
poop.
erosion process. Like the
Sand is fish poop.
Fish poop. Only sometimes, though, because there's other times where it's just wind that slowly breaks away a big rock until it becomes sand.
And they're like, let's go lay on it.
Yes.
Let's dig our toes in.
I'll put my towel down. I don't want to get too dirty.
Yeah. But you see that you don't get that dirty because sand
sand.
isn't dirt.
You're right. You're right. Dirt is dirt.
Dirt is
Why does
dirt.
dirt stick to my skin way more? Why does it want to cling onto me? And you have to rinse it off. It like will just sit on you.
Yeah, and when you find sand, that's like, why is the sand dirty?
Yeah.
It's not good
if
sand.
if you get your feet wet though, then touch the sand. It sticks to you
That goes for most things.
like glue.
True.
Oh my gosh, it's like that song. Whoa.
Stuck like glue.
You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue. Who is that? Sugarland.
Is it?
Yes. Remember when like her concert like collapsed?
Gosh.
I know that's a really big dramatic turn there, but you know that actually implemented a bunch of different safety regulations they had to put into concerts.
Oh my gosh.
It's true though, they did. They had to implement a whole new thing for like wind watchers, basically. That like
We watched that video in class,
yeah, Oh,
not
yeah,
on
yeah.
our own.
Pecoraro.
Our professor showed us
mm-hmm.
a horrible video of a wind gust storm hitting a Sugarland concert, and the rigging,
Yeah, I guess all the rigging
Like-
just collapsed. It blew over because there was like the wind couldn't get through because there was like also a bunch of like drapes. I guess I don't know what to call those. Like
drapery.
yeah, I don't
Backdrop
know. Yeah, there was
drape.
like a bunch of backdrop stuff that's like hanging there so the wind can't. It's just like grabbing onto that and it just pulled it over.
That was one of the worst things. And he didn't preference. Preference?
Pre-
Is that
Preface.
preface? He
Yes.
didn't preface what he was going to
didn't
show
preference.
us, and then we watched 45 people die.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And then
Happy 8 a.m. class.
yeah, he did that a lot.
There's a lot of times I did not look at the screen.
No, love that man. Good
But
guy.
Granted, this was a class where we were learning about stage safety.
Yes.
It
yeah.
wasn't like
It was about like, oh, why did this fail? What could they have done better? That
It
was
wasn't
like, the
like
whole
a-
point.
an art class where we'd go in and do clay work, and then he was like, "Hey, look at all these people die."
Yeah, this is what you guys want to see.
Yeah. Good morning, death.
No, it was definitely just a good class about safety, but also like I took 3 or 4 classes with him, and I think in every one I saw that video.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he showed like every single one. Like I saw that video and then like other videos of just like stage floors collapsing and stuff. That was like, oh, good. I mean, it's it's how we learn, I guess. But
Yeah. When he went through the day where he's like, "I'm going to show you the most gruesome pictures of all," closed my eyes. The whole class. I didn't look at one picture.
was that the one where the poor guy on the cruise ship?
I have no idea. And didn't see.
You heard?
All I heard was people going, "Oh,
Yeah,
no, oh my gosh."
Yeah, true. Well, it's really, really gross. I remember the pictures. There's the one of the cruise ship guy. Pretty gruesome.
What happened?
He he was on a cruise ship. He was like a dancer, and he was really good, really, really good. Him and his wife, I think, were on the cruise ship, and they were on contract, of course, and they were part of a dance show that had like stage floors that would like drop down. What is it? Where like the stage can raise and lower, like parts of the stage can raise. And lower.
Okay.
I forget what that's called, but it would like raised up. Scratching my head.
You leaned into the
I
mic
like-
to scratch your head.
Yeah, I did. I want everyone to hear that. But yeah, like I guess the stage manager called it too early to like lower the floor back to even. It was above. It was like high, and then there was a dancer, and he had his foot right where it closed down, and it closed. And it took the skin from his knee down
No.
all the way. Yeah. They called it. I remember he always said they clubbed his foot. It clubbed his foot. That's what Pecoraro. That's what he described it as. Or yeah, our professor. He definitely clubbed his foot, and it. Yeah,
Oh,
it was horrible.
you would not believe the amount of happiness I feel closing my eyes for 45 minutes in that class.
The entire 45 minutes. Although his class usually wasn't 8 a.m., was it?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Remember when we went to college for 4 years? No, 3.5.
Thanks, COVID.
Thanks, COVID. And then I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I literally don't remember. All I remember is...
And it wasn't even one of those things where we're like drunk all the time. We weren't.
No.
Ever.
We're not... No.
It was like
We weren't
genuinely just
party
don't
people.
remember.
Yeah, no, we didn't party. We didn't do anything. We just went to class and
Said no to authority.
yes.
That's it.
I don't dislike theater at all. I'll go see a theater show, but every time I do see a theater show, it's not like, what am I trying to say? It's not something that like defines. I don't know.
Your
that,
existence.
yeah. Yes, it doesn't make me like better or worse because I saw that show. It's just that like I saw it and that was it. And like, I don't know. That was a kind of a hard time. That was like the hardest part. I think is a lot of people just really didn't like that we didn't care as much about the theater world.
Yeah. But it's funny because we had that going for us where we weren't as emotionally involved.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like on the opposite end, it was harder for us because we didn't wear emotions on our sleeve and can just recall them like that, like a lot of theater people can do because they're so good at just saying like, oh, I remember that specific moment and that specific play, and I'm going to recall that and be like, oh, I can do that.
Yes,
Or
and
like
that is
when they're acting, they can be like, "Oh, I remember in third grade, my turtle got run over by a car. Bam, crying.
turtle. Well, it would live. It has a shell.
Sorry, lizard. Turtles are lizards with homes.
Lizards. I like how you're like only amphibians or reptiles right now. We're not digging into the mammal world. No.
Not yet. My dog hung himself. I can't talk about that.
My God. You're right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
Bogey.
Bogey.
Bogey hung himself.
Bogey, really?
Bogey.
I love that. I really do love that name.
I've had Bogey, Augie, Getty.
Oh, really? You went with an E sound.
Yeah, but it was Getty was short for Gettysburg. Big Lincoln fans.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay, I can get behind that. That's pretty funny. But then, yeah, what were we talking about? Lizards run over. Why?
Oh, yeah. So they could be like, I remember when my gecko got run over in third grade. I remember exactly how I felt. Now I can use that in this absolute drama scene and portray those emotions where I'd be like, oh, I forgot my lizard died. Let me try to fake these emotions. Like we don't feel, we're outside in. No, I'm an outside in person where you're more of an inside out, but you recreate.
Yeah, I don't like
emotion.
I don't like to dig back into something and like, I don't like pain. So I won't like go back into something that hurts and be like, oh, I'm gonna make me feel that again because of what I'm thinking. Do you
fear pain?
Absolutely.
Same.
Pain really is like, that is my biggest.
Let's avoid.
It's where I avoid everything. Like I will not dig into pain unless it's literally forced upon me.
That's true.
It's hard for me to get into a role or a character that is sad or in pain.
Yeah.
Unless I can justify it. Like, and justifying it is really hard for me and you because of the fact that we just don't recall. Whereas a lot of theater kids are really good at that. You're right. Like, it's genuinely what you know about. Like, if you were just raised a theater kid, you were always thinking of this stuff when you're growing up. Like, oh, how can I act better, I guess. Like, if you're really meant to be a theater kid, I think that's more so how it goes. Whereas I've never thought like that. I don't try to dig back into stuff. I live more in the moment. I don't like to look back. I don't like to think of bad things. So it's hard. I actually, the other day, I was in my car driving for Shipt.
Nice.
Yeah.
We both drive for Shipt. We're Shipt shoppers.
Shipt shoppers.
We basically are just glorified grocery shoppers.
It's incredible.
It's so fun.
It's so much fun. I really liked it. And but yeah, I was driving the other day, literally just doing my thing, driving around. And while I was in my car, I would sit there and just be like, I'm gonna cry. I was like, I'm gonna try to cry right now, and I did. What I did was I would just hold my eyes open, like the pain, and I cannot hold my eyes open. It just starts to burn, and I just like keep failing at it. But I didn't stop. I just kept doing it, and I was like, well, this is actually really like a good exercise, I think, because I eventually, like after a few minutes, once I had started getting like my tear ducts to be like, oh, ow, they started like filling in, and then I would like look in the rearview mirror and be like, nice,
I'm a
little,
crier.
little tears.
I'm
yes.
a little crier guy.
But now I know how to get there more because I really do want to get better at acting, of course, and like I know we both do, but it's just hard sometimes with how people like get there. I just don't understand it a lot of the
No.
time.
I don't. So, the one, I don't cry much,
No.
but the one like song that I can get myself to there instead of like holding my eyes open, because I held my eyes open for 17 minutes one time and then got bored and moved on to the next thing. My eyes felt fine.
Wow.
I don't know. Weird talent.
That is a weird talent.
I'm not gonna
So
blink.
you're not going to use that.
No,
you
I'm not.
can't use that.
I won't blink this whole conversation. Not the rest of this podcast, but my little spiel,
Okay.
because I'll probably forget about it. I'm too focused on my eyes. What was I saying?
I
I'm
can't
staring
remember
I'm
either.
staring at your left eye.
True. It's so weird when I think about how you're only looking at one eye at a time. Like when someone's like, "Look me in the eyes," do they actually want you to like switch between left and right?
I'm gonna look at your bridge of your nose. I got both of your eyeballs.
Right in the middle.
And if you watch people when they're acting in close-ups, like looking at someone, their eyes going back and
The
forth.
whole time, and that's where you need to. That's just in general acting. I love that that's a thing that I did not know until I acted
You
on
know
camera.
who I recently noticed that? Sandra Oh in Grey's Anatomy. She's the Asian American surgeon in it.
Mm-hmm.
She is so good at acting.
Does she do that?
Her when she's
Always
looking,
back and
she
forth.
always has like this perfect look on her face for every situation, and her eyes are just like looking back and forth. And you're like, I believe you. I believe that you are an up and coming. I'm only on season 4, so up and coming surgeon. My gosh, her acting is so good because she's very like type A, analytical. Well, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
like person. My gosh, her acting is so good. But I literally noticed yesterday and the day before eyes.
That's actually really cool. I mean, so I guess it does work depending on the situation, especially in like chaotic situations. I feel it works.
She
better.
makes it compelling and not
Where it's
distracting.
It's not like where they're just darting back and forth because they don't know what to do with their
Yeah.
eyes.
Compelling.
Fair. It's so hard to control our faces in acting. I don't understand. I still don't get it, but I feel like I'm also just overthinking it.
We're in our stage where we're like, we have all this knowledge from theater, but we are little baby guppies.
We are little baby guppies, and we're gonna get better, but
Yeah.
it's weird right now. It really is.
Right now, we're inside of my closet in my apartment.
Yes, it
Hey,
is
decently sized closet, I will say,
cozy.
but we are snug as a bug in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Our knees could touch the
Oh,
entire
touching.
podcast.
Our
Yep.
knees are touching.
Yep. Because it's just,
But these are
really small.
origin story right here.
Absolutely an origin story.
Oh, about crying. That's where we were. I listen.
Right.
The way I can get into the emotion to cry is Eddie Redmayne's version of "Empty Chairs and Empty Tables" from Les Mis.
Oh.
I can get into his emotion instantly.
Who is Eddie Redmayne again? Why can't I think of who he is?
Kermit the Frog kind of voice. Fantastic Beasts. Theory of Everything. Academy
Yeah.
Award winning phenomenal actor.
He's very good. Yeah, okay. I know who he is.
But
very
when he's
well.
just like, "There's a grief that can't be spoken," I'm like, literally could cry right now.
Okay, see, that's really cool. I don't
There's
know.
a pain goes on and on.
I couldn't tear up from that. I could not.
But I also am in love with Les Mis.
That's fair. You really do love Les Mis, which is very good.
That was what got me into theater. I saw that in theaters. Whoever says that the original London cast, whatever, shut up. We know they're trained professional singers. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, it's great.
The movie is so good. I don't care that Russell Crowe can't sing. He can act.
He's very good at it. And his singing is, it sounds like if that character, what's his character's name?
Javert.
Yes, yes, perfect. It sounds like if that character was literally thrown into a scenario where he had to sing his heart out, and he did, where it wasn't like, it wasn't,
601.
it wasn't perfect. Like, I like that. I like that it felt like a person was just thrown into the situation and had to cry and act there and sing. Cry and act and
It
sing.
wasn't like, oh, look at this amazing opera trained person.
Because then part of me can almost,
I believe him more.
yeah, I believe it more because of how real it is and how good he isn't. Not that he's horrible, technically, yes, I guess. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds good for how human it sounds. It sounds like
Yes.
an average guy.
And
that's
for a
just,
movie, that's what you need. If I went to like the Pantages Theater in LA
Mhm.
and someone sang like Russell Crowe, I go, man, we paid a lot of money for this.
Yes, yes. Like, okay.
The expectations are different.
No, that's true. That's actually really accurate. If I'm going to a theater, I expect good singers, but of course you do.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, with this, it's, especially with the tone of the whole thing in Les Mis, it makes sense why it's so, like, mediocre sometimes what they're singing.
And that they're singing live.
Yes, and that they're singing live. That's amazing.
That
was a really, really cool part of it.
Yeah, I saw that movie, cried 4 tears. 3 tears out of my left, 1 out of the right. I was wearing a sock monkey beanie and a red burgundy hoodie.
Why do you remember that?
I saw it in Apple Valley with my sister and my cousin.
And you cried?
I cried very end. At the epilogue, spoiler, Jean Valjean dies.
Yeah.
And he's like,
forgot.
when Amanda Siegfried,
Amanda Siegfried, I think.
Amanda Siegfried, you say it fast enough and you're
Amanda
right.
Siegfried? Yeah.
Amanda Siegfried, when she comes in, she's like, Papa, Papa, you wanna wee? And like crazy.
Her vibrato. Yeah.
Crazy. And he's
oh my
like,
gosh.
Cosette.
I like how you know all these words from it. You know so much about it.
When he's like, God, like dying. Okay, I saw a video the other day.
Oh no.
Okay, Hugh Jackman is my actual guy. Like,
Absolutely.
this is known among many, many people that Hugh Jackman, I'm sorry, Zach, he's gonna be my best friend.
That's okay. You can absolutely have you. I will be on the sidelines just cheering you on.
Oh, you did it!
You did it. I'd be so proud of you.
Okay,
That's
I
fine.
love Hugh Jackman, but there's a video of him on one of his songs where they played it at like half speed, and so his vibrato is already like. I will say that musical was a little bit above his
Range.
his power range.
Yes.
Where he was in like Greatest Showman, where it was like he made that, so it was like I'm gonna sing where I can sing.
And it was great.
It was amazing.
Oh, I love it.
But in Les Mis, he did a great job. It was just maybe a little skosh too high.
Yeah. But I
But-
love that.
But they played it at half the speed, so it was hear my prayer, and it is okay. It's the absolute fun. Like you will cry. You will, if you need to cry, watch Hugh Jackman singing at half speed.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
I cannot believe how funny it is.
Okay, that's pretty funny. I like that. That idea is hilarious to me.
Go on YouTube on your phone.
Oh yeah, YouTube. You gonna YouTube it?
Yeah,
Where'd your phone go?
I 100% lost my phone. It fell off, hit me in the ankle, and evaporated.
Yes. That's perfect. It's okay. So you're gonna look that up. You're gonna look up a video of Hugh Jackman singing at half speed. How did you find this? Like, where did it
don't
show
know.
up?
Oh, I think this is it.
Oh, I hope this is it.
Oh my gosh, that's probably loud. It's so slow.
That's hilarious. Oh no.
Let's fast forward. Let's see what we get.
No. Hugh. Wow.
So my goal is to be friends with Hugh Jackman and show him that.
You'll show him?
I'll show him.
As if he hasn't heard of it or seen
I don't
it.
think he has.
Okay, I bet. I like him. He's nice.
He's too busy loving Deb. He
Yes.
loves Deb and laughing man coffee. I can't do an Australian accent.
I know, it's so
Point a
hard.
gun to my head. Couldn't do it. Shoot me.
Agreed. I cannot do. I honestly used to be able to do Australian, and then now I can't. It's like, if you try, good eye, mate. Right?
Yeah.
You try good eye, mate, and
You're like, I've nailed that.
you can kind of get back into it. No, it's
No.
not it, and then I leave it.
It's
But-
gone.
Okay, the thing is though, when I met, there was an Australian family. I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and
My pleasure.
my pleasure. There was a family that came in to my Reno Chick-fil-A that said they were, well, they didn't say, they were from Australia. They were very,
They said
they
they're from
said-
Australia.
they could just be really good at it. No, they were definitely Australian. I ended up talking to them for a very long time, like an hour of my shift. I was just chatting with them because they sounded so cool. But also they were really nice. And the dad, turns out, when I got his Facebook, because he was like, hey, add me on Facebook. And I was like, man, I'm in.
If you're going to talk like them, if you're going to quote them, you got to try an Australian accent.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, you can add me on Facebook. No, that's not it.
Add me on Facebook.
Ed.
Huh?
Ed.
Uh,
Okay. Add me on Facebook.
Facebook. Add me on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna get better at it. I don't know.
I
man.
give myself a D+.
Me too. I get an F.
Didn't
but then-
fail because I knew what Australia was.
Okay, I get a D+ then too. I'll get a D-. But then he was like, what did he say? Oh, they asked me. That's where I was going with this. They asked me to try an Australian accent. And I was like, oh, guys, I'm so bad at this. It was him and his wife and his daughter. They're just sitting there watching me. And I'm like, oh, no. But I mean, you know, I love talking to people and just chatting it up. So I was like, I'll do it. I'll try it. Whatever. And they instantly laughed. I don't remember what I said. But I just started talking to them with an Australian dialect, I should say. Not
Yes,
accent,
we are.
actually. I know, it sounds so fancy. We sound so like...
Prude.
Ooh, prude, yeah. Or
Is
not,
prude a bad word?
I don't know. Cancelled.
Put it in the comments.
But yeah,
DM us.
leave that in the comments, whoever's listening. One of
Yeah.
you. Someone out there is going to hear this.
Mom?
Dad?
Can you tell me?
Rip. No, but so yeah, so I tried that. It was horrible. And then the guy, ow! Oh, I just hit my funny bone all there. But the dad was very friendly. And when I got his Facebook though, turns out he was a professor at a college before in England for a while, and he was a professor at a college in Australia. And he was also like a teacher at some facility in Australia also, and like full on smart man. And he told me if I ever wanted to go down there and have a place to stay, that's where I could go.
Down under?
Down under. Yeah,
Have a place to stay.
have a place to stay. You
Down,
could go
down
down under.
under?
Down under.
Yeah, down under.
Yeah. Down under. Down. Down.
Down under?
Down under.
That sounds
You
right.
just head down under.
I think
I
you gotta
found
just
you.
kind of head
There,
bob
there
with
was
it.
an Australian on the show Cannonball.
Bannon call.
Bannon Cole. The
Okay,
Australian
if you
guy.
didn't know, Zach is famous.
I'm not famous. I am on season 1, episode 10 of the show on USA Network, and it also did air on NBC because of COVID, but it was supposed to just air on USA Network. But anyway, episode 10, season 1, check it out.
If you want to see Zach absolutely get bruised up his entire torso,
Yeah, definitely take a look. It's good stuff. There's also some Getty images on online. If you
so
look
Zach,
up.
so we were roommates in college, and he was trying not to tell anyone what happened because he went to film like in LA, far away, for like 2 or 3 days, and he was trying not to tell anybody. But one day he gets back and is just like crippled in pain, and I was like, Zach, please tell me what happened. He was like, fine.
It's like, okay, I can only tell you because you're gonna see it anyway.
And he was in horrible pain, and he takes off his shirt, and his whole torso from neck to belly button is just like this yellow color. like the beginning of a bruise.
Absolutely yellow, like entirely. And I'm not gonna show him, but my thighs were also absolutely yellow, and it hurt so bad. And you can watch it if you'd like. But point being, there was a guy on my episode, really nice guy, and he was Australian, and he wore a Speedo.
I was gonna say, is he the one that wore the Speedo? And then you said he wore a Speedo. So
Yeah.
my point is null.
Yeah, null. Yeah, that's very null. But no, he was Australian, and I really, he like tried an English dialect.
Like American or British?
American, sorry, an American dialect to me, and he was like, well, he tried British for a second to see, like, he was just kind of showing off what he can do because he wants to act too, and his English British dialect was really pretty good, and he like talked about where it came from in your mouth and like where it goes and like how you get it out, which there's like all this technique to accents and dialects that I don't really understand, but I do understand, but it's like that's not really what I dig into when I try stuff, but unless I had to. I guess if like I had to learn an Australian dialect, I'd dig into where it comes from.
Yeah.
And he did talk about where the Americans speak from, how it's like all throat. And we just talk like very weird, like back of our throat. Yeah, and he like kind of went on about that, and then he tried it, and he was good at it. He wasn't great at it though. I could tell as an American, which I've never experienced, I could tell where he was a little off. And it was I couldn't even tell really what it was, but it was a little off. It was honestly in the way the like twang he added to words was a little Australian sounding still.
Right. Everyone I think generally when people are like from other countries are like, do an American accent, they're like, yeehaw.
True.
They think the entire
Country.
United States is horse riding, boot scooting boogie.
Straight up not. Well, depends on the area, I guess. But
See, my hope is in acting to get a role where I have to be Australian. Because I couldn't do French until we acted in Around the World in 80 Days. And I had to be passe-partout. I could French and Australian where I was like, oh, I could do any dialect except French and Australian. Now, I could do French.
yes, and you really did well.
Thank you.
There was we got in the show Around the World in 80 Days, and Ethan had to be French. And then I had a British dialect, which honestly was really hard to do around each other for a while.
Yeah, and then we had people with like Indian accents in there and other types of British accents, and it was hard. You would like start morphing into other
It's
people.
hard when you hear people around you all speaking in a different dialect, and then you're trying to stick to the dialect you learned. I bet it was even harder for you with French. I mean, that was like super impressive. Like actually, that was insane. Because you did really well, and I know way better how to do a French dialect because of you doing a French dialect.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, no, because you did it all the time in the room.
Yeah.
You were just practicing constantly.
Hey, but we would practice together.
True.
We would, as we're playing Fortnite.
Yes.
Okay, as Zach played Fortnite and I watched.
Yes.
Homeboy's not too good.
You're great.
Oh, I would say legendary.
Ethan's probably the best Fortnite player to ever grace the game.
Let that spread. Let
that
Ethan is the best Fortnite player to ever walk this earth. I just choose not to broadcast my talents.
Exactly. I mean, he's trying to go into the world for other things. So
Yeah, my Fortnite talent is not something I pride myself on.
But it should be.
It should be. Pretty good.
Yes.
But we would just talk to each other all day, every day. At lunch, in our room, in our dialects. And then we had a ton of scenes together. And we would lay in bed. And not the same bed. Bunk. And we would just say our lines over and over and over. And that was probably the most fun show I've had.
Ever. I loved that show.
I would
really did.
I would do it every day.
I would do it every day. I wish I could alternate between that and Lord of the Flies.
Just do that.
But then you could alternate between that and Frankenstein.
I would alternate between that and 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Oh, really?
I would.
2 comedies.
2 comedies. I don't care.
I love that.
Hey, Passepartout, he had heart. All right?
did.
There
He
were some
did.
sad moments.
Yes, there was. I love that show, man.
But when I played a creepy woman sniffing, sounds like someone in power. Yeah. I wonder who that could be. But yeah, when I played him, creepy stash, middle part, creepy wide rim glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was the time of my life. My script was in front of me every show. Never had to memorize, but I did
know.
eventually memorize.
Because you just had to repeat.
So fun. If you do not know what 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee is, watch it. Find
just
it.
look that up. It's 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Yeah, you're just going to want to type into your web browser 25th numerically, and then Putnam County Spelling Bee.
You forgot annual.
What?
25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And
Yep.
that show is really funny to watch. That was a great experience.
Zach and I didn't really know each other yet.
Yeah, true. Our friendship kind of stemmed from our junior and senior years together.
Yes.
And we didn't even get a whole senior year.
No, we didn't.
And somehow it feels like we've known each other for centuries.
For years and years, I chased down fears.
Oh, no. Yeah, it does, though. It really does. It's crazy. We were good old buddy old pals the minute we became bros.
So we met each other day one of college, and we were like, dang. I was like, dang, Zach, cool guy. I want to be his friend.
I thought Ethan, maybe he could be cool.
That's generally what people think about me. My nickname in high school was Go Away.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, go away. I was
Yeah.
like, good to see you guys.
We're going to take that conversation back a little bit so I can say, Ethan. No, when we met, I was like, this guy's a bro. Full on, obviously.
But then Zach was like, let me get a girlfriend week one and disappear
For 2 years.
for 2 years.
2 years of my life. My
Yes.
college life, of all things.
Sad.
Yeah, she's an ex now. Fine by me.
That's all we'll say.
That's all we'll say on that. But yeah, I mean, our friendship kind of grew, and then it didn't really grow until all of a sudden we were just like roommates.
Let's be roommates. And then we're like, where have you been all of my life?
So funny. And then people right after that, literally from junior year on, everyone's like, Ethan and Zach, they're never not together.
The power couple.
Yeah, it was like, what? Are you kidding me? We've barely even hung out our first 2 years, and then we hang out for 8 seconds, and everyone's like, yeah, they're best friends, whatever. And they're all annoyed that we're getting roles and just like playing parts together. And we finally got in a show together, Frankenstein, which you were
Frankenstein.
phenomenal.
Thank
you. You did. He was the creature, the big old spooky Frankenstein creature. Really cool.
I had to gain weight for that role.
Yeah, you worked out a ton for that role, which
I
is
gained
awesome.
27 pounds
That's awesome.
and 5% body fat.
Wow. And then
That was a good time.
I had mutton chops, so
You had mutton chops, so I think you win.
yeah, absolutely. I
I
had
can't
mutton
grow
chops,
hair.
and I love growing a beard. Wow.
I had a dream last night. I went like this on my mustache, like pulled it, and I was like, dang, there's some thick hair here. I grew a mustache last night. Then I woke up to my bald face, and I was pretty sad.
That is pretty sad, but you know what? One day you're gonna grow hair like your dad. I think you'll get the
He
goatee.
only grows it right here. He can't grow on the side. I think I already have a little more hair than he does on my side.
When did he start growing?
26?
26.
He could
Okay,
grow a
you're
beard.
getting there.
Yeah, just a few more years.
Mm-hmm. Ask him where he was progress-wise right at this age.
About where I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like if I grew a stash, it'd be a dirty stash.
Okay, you'll be good.
I'd look pretty nasty.
Nah, you're gonna rock it one day. I'm gonna see you with facial hair and be like, bro, look at you go.
You're gonna say that like enough time will pass where you'll see me without it, and then the next time you see me, I'll have facial hair. Are
Yes.
you leaving me?
4 years. See you in 4 years, buddy.
Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Right?
Right.
Right? Right, huh? So, yeah, what were we talking about? Huh? Hello?
Oh, our friendship.
Or that. Frankenstein. You did Frankenstein. Then we were in a show together for the first time in our college careers. Those are junior years.
That was
Because I had
awesome.
done a ton of shows already, and so had Ethan. We had both done like 5 or 6 shows already.
Yeah.
And just
Never
like
together.
varying roles, like
Yeah.
either supporting or leads, or Frankenstein was ensemble, my first ensemble role.
Mm.
And then after that it was just, then both of us got a lead in Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah. See, the good thing about being a guy in theater, in a theater department especially, is that you are always going to be in a show.
Yes,
It's a much more of a competitive world for women.
absolutely.
My
Because
gosh.
so many, it's just that it's literally just numbers. There's so many guys in departments in
Yeah.
theater. Or, I mean, so many girls.
Girls.
So many girls in theater departments, and there's only so many roles that they need to fill.
There was
each
like
show.
4 guys in our grade.
Yeah.
In theater, and
Yeah.
like 20 girls.
Yeah, and then in like the total of our 4 years, it was probably 30% to 70%.
I'd have to say, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's bad. It's like rip, but
but it gave us a ton of experience, obviously.
yeah, very thankful.
Yeah, me too. It's awesome. I'm so glad that we were able to just like play so many roles, so many varying roles.
Yeah, and it's crazy that some people in the department didn't get to even be in a show till their 2nd or 3rd year,
Mm-hmm.
purely because of the number. It's a numbers game.
And so a lot of times it was like unfortunate where they would get like a role. Not that being an ensemble's bad. It's not. I loved being ensemble in Frankenstein actually, but it's not the same. It's like, you're not the lead person. You're not a lead. You're not a supporting. Which more lines is just more fun.
Yeah,
It's more stuff to do, more work. It kind of sucks sometimes when you get called to rehearsal and you're just sitting there
all day.
literally the whole rehearsal, and for theater typically it's a 6-week process of like
6 day a week.
6
4
day a
or
week
5 hour
rehearsals.
practices.
Yeah,
rehearsals.
usually it's 4 hours of rehearsal usually, and then like every day, every single day, and then that's 6 days a week. We usually get Sunday off or whatever, but then 6 weeks of that, and then the show opens, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I don't have to rehearse on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's just shows Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday,
Yeah,
which is super fun. It's such a cool
I
process.
literally miss it a lot.
Me too.
I would. You see, what sparked this podcast is people like us need a creative outlet. And when we don't get one, people like Zach and I, we don't really struggle with anxiety too much. So when we start telling each other, man, I'm feeling kind of anxious these days, we know something's wrong.
Yeah, we're pretty bad on the scale of like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
because we're just not anxious people. So when anxiety shows up, oh man,
Because when the world was open, we're doing things all the time.
mm-hmm.
And when my sophomore year, I was taking 18 units. I was in 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. I was one of the brothers, and I was on the track team. And that was the time of my life.
So cool.
I had all class until 3, and then from 8 a.m. to 3. Then I went to track practice from 3:30 to 6:30. Then I went to rehearsal from they let me show up a little late, so I'd be like 7 to 11 every day.
That's insane.
And
That's
I was
so
like,
much.
dang, this is what my body, I never had anxiety because that was my schedule. It was busy as crap.
Absolutely. Well, you have no time for it.
I had no
You
time to be
literally don't
stressed.
have time to be stressed.
If we sit around, we get stressed and
I
sad.
start to get really like, it sucks too because I'll tend to sit down if I don't have a schedule.
Yes,
I'll tend to
I
just-
do that too.
I'll just sit around, and then after a while, I'm like, man, I really feel horrible. But then when I feel horrible, I almost don't want to do anything even more so.
You get into that little rut where you're
Yeah.
like, you can't dig yourself out.
Yeah, and I know that's basically just the description of anxiety
Mm.
and depression. But luckily, we have, I think, just that we kind of, where if one of us is anxious, usually the other one's like, well, even if we're both anxious, we just kind of,
We end up laughing.
we kind of help dig each other out of it, which is really good, I think.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. Isn't it yin and yang?
I couldn't
I think
imagine.
I think it's yin and yang. I think it's just an N at the end of yin.
Man, really don't know. Have never thought about that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we started this podcast today literally on a whim. We went, we had talked about doing it, and
Yeah.
then literally today we were like,
Let's do it.
we were writing a script for a different thing. We were going to do something on camera.
And then we lost complete interest.
Yeah, absolutely. Halfway through script, we were like, nah.
Sucks.
we were like, yeah, I'm losing faith in this. And then we were just like, okay,
Oh yeah, good.
let's go record a podcast.
Let's go
and
sit
then
in
you were
my
like,
closet.
yeah, you're like, should we just like a topic? And then we were just like,
No.
nah.
Nothing is anything, man.
Nothing is anything. So we're here
We're excited. We don't care where this goes.
at all.
We don't care
We'll
who
see.
hears it. This is for us. as much as it is for the outside world, of course, heck yeah, awesome if this gets out there. But if not, we'll keep recording. I don't care if 1 or 3 people listen to it.
Absolutely.
I care if 2.
I do want. I also have water in my mouth. I'm speaking with it in my mouth.
Like a lunatic.
So what I'm going to do, I just wanted to do this just so I could swallow into the mic. So all of you can hear that. Here's your trigger warning. I hope that came up pretty well.
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to do that. I speak with water in my mouth all the time.
Any liquid.
Any liquid. Yeah, not just only water. Only water. Can't do it with anything.
I've seen Zach hold a shot of alcohol in his mouth for a good 3 minutes because he physically forgets how to swallow.
It's horrible. That's like every shot I ever take. I just sit there.
He panics. Goes,
yeah, arms flailing like. Why did I imagine SpongeBob? Like a fish. I'm just sitting there like a fish, just flopping around, standing there, just.
And I'm like, swallow, you idiot! Swallow it!
Yeah, it's horrible. It is a fun process to watch, I'm sure, but man, I feel like my taste buds won't work by the time I'm 30. Yeah,
Then
so.
you can finally start eating healthy.
Fair. True? Nah.
You'd be like, I remember what this tasted like.
Yeah, I remember when this Big Mac was delicious. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. But yeah, COVID happened, and now we're just getting our creativity out this way, I guess.
Did you find out if you graduated yet?
I think I did. I don't know.
I just found out.
Oh, I did.
Months later, they were like, here's your diploma. I was like, oh, cool, I
Yes,
graduated.
they said they mailed it to me, so I'm pretty sure it's at my house. I
Nice.
just haven't seen it, but
Congrats, man. We did it,
hey,
I think.
we graduated, I think. I am not going to walk.
Oh, no. It's a drive-through graduation.
A drive-through graduation? We're not fast food, okay? We cooked for 4 years.
We cooked fine dining for
Fine
4
dining.
years.
This is a 5-course, 5-star meal. This ain't no drive-through. I want to sit in and dine in. Okay, I'm done. Perfect.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, so,
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. I think of my life in terms of a Jimmy Fallon interview on his show.
oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, I
What
think
would
of...
he ask you?
So I fully imagine, as soon as we're like, no graduation, I went, all right, I'm on Jimmy Fallon's show. And he goes, what? So you're telling me you graduated 2020? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so you didn't get a graduation? And I'm like, no. He's like, Roots hit it. And they're like, bum, in their Roots way.
Right.
And then they fully bring out a full graduation and they do a full graduation for me. That's how I think in my head. Is that bad? Because I think about that a lot. Not just that situation. Anything that happens to me, I go, what would Jimmy Fallon say about this
That's
later in my
great.
life when I'm in a position where I'm on his show?
Do you watch Jimmy Fallon enough to know exactly what he would say in those situations?
I used to.
Okay, fair.
I stopped as soon as I left my house because I don't have like cable.
But yeah, Jimmy Fallon was. Well, yeah, no one has.
I
cable
would
anymore.
watch it every day
Well, young people don't.
because I would record it because I'd be in bed at 9 p.m. up until into a little bit into college. Before I got a girlfriend, I went to bed at 9 p.m.
That's hilarious to me. That
And then I met Gabrielle,
it took a girlfriend.
my future wife, and I was up till 5 a.m.
Not even a future wife anymore, though.
Oh, at the time, she was my future wife.
She was, but now straight up
Married.
married.
Marriage.
Pure marriage.
I know Zach's a little jealous that I married Gabrielle.
Yeah, I always make fun of him for Ethan's just his life, man. His life always works out. And so that's just kind of the joke, which is, hilarious, haha, for everyone else to watch. But no, his life straight up works out wonderfully. It is so
Hey,
cool.
I'm
Like,
blessed.
first girlfriend, married. Boom,
First kiss.
married. Boom,
First handhold.
boom, married.
First girl hug.
Married? Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, like the first person I didn't like side hug.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You're
man.
Just a side hugger.
I was just a amoeba until I met her.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm. It's great. Gabrielle's great. Obviously,
A real swell gal.
real swell gal.
Very talented.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow, I just remembered her singing.
So good.
Not theatrically. Her theatrical voice is amazing, but wow. Her
She-
non-theatrical voice is amazing.
Get you a girl who can do it all.
Get your girl control.
Get your, come on down there. We get your girl to do it all.
That was yeah. You are that. Whatever that was you.
Dum dum dimma dum.
Dance, dance, dance. Yes. Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner.
Wow. We've come full circle
Absolutely. Full circle. Yep.
to the last time we talked about Fairly Odd Parents.
What have we talked about today?
Everything. But here's the thing. We're not nervous for this. We're not scatterbrained. This is how we talk.
It just goes.
It goes. We are a freight train that started 2 years ago, and there have been no stops.
It's
And we're gaining speed, and where's Spider-Man to stop this train?
straight up
Tobey
Spider-Man 2.
Maguire.
Come on, Toby.
Toby,
then-
we need you.
And then that guy is like, not even, or he's like, he's old enough to be my son.
Then Uncle Ben's like, go, go, Peter. With great power comes great responsibility. And then we got Uncle Ben's rice.
And Sandman.
Sandman.
Sandman. Full circle.
I saw him in Easy A. I watched Easy A for the first time 2 days ago.
Okay, whoa.
He's
hold
in it. Sandman.
No.
And as soon as he came on screen, I went, Sandman!
That's actually hilarious that happened somehow by chance, but also the fact that we were talking about sand earlier.
Sandman.
Mm-hmm. Sand and Sandman.
That's a full ass circle.
That is a full ass circle. Oh, that's it. Wow. So, cool. This is fun.
So if you somehow hear this, don't know how to produce a podcast, don't know where to put it, don't know what to do, but if you hear it, you will probably have our phone number. Text us and be like, hey, I liked that. I listened to it.
Absolutely. Let us know what you thought.
Also, criticism. We need it.
Yes, I want negative thoughts. I want positive thoughts.
I want to know what we can do better.
Yeah, we want to improve. So just let us know if you hear this. And I hope someone does.
This is kind of a crazy thing.
Yeah.
We're making content that could be out in the World Wide Web forever. When we die, it'll still be there.
Yes, and it can. The weird thing too is it can be brought up later in our lives, in our careers. At some point, someone will bring this up.
I
And
hope
be
we
like,
didn't say anything racist. We're done for.
Yeah, absolutely cancel culture. Yeah, so there's that. This is nothing about
Anything.
nothing. Well, nothing
Is anything. Thank you to our sponsor, Smarties Candy.
Thank you, Smarties.
Did anyone else think those made you actually smarter? Smarties.
I used to. Smarties.
I used to crush them with a spoon and snort them. Thank you and have a good day.
Wait, hold on a second. Did you ever do the thing where you rubbed them together really hard in the wrapper still, and then you open one end of the wrapper, and then you breathe it in, and then you breathe it back out? And
Smoke.
It smokes.
Yeah. Smarties are the gateway drug to tobacco.
Don't do Smarties.
Don't do Smarties. We're nixing them as our sponsor.
Our sponsor,
We're
get out of here.
We're keeping your money and all of the candy you sent us
If you can't tell, Smarties does not sponsor us.
anymore.
Anymore.
I'm Ethan,
I'm Zach.
and we are Ethan and Zach,
Nothing.
or anything.